Here we've got for sale a 1986 Honda CR500. Some of this bike is a little bit like Marmite. The bike's been pre-sold. The guy who's buying it, he's also buying a CB450, and he's also got his name down on a KX500 aluminium frame conversion, which is coming over in the next container. Now he has already bought, which I've got in boxes here for him. Seat cover, original colour plastics, decals, this, that and the other, to try and put this bike back to how it should have been. Whoever's had this bike before has tried to make it look modern. So they've put on the desert tank, the big white desert tank, which I don't think will have been from the correct year because it doesn't have the right ragguard mount points on it, and the seat doesn't quite fit it right. And they've also put like a modern rear mudguard on and a modern number board, all of which, you know, try to make the bike look like a modern bike. It's a 1986 CR500. It should look like a 1986 CR500. It is what it is. It's a cracking bike, very iconic bike, and very sought after, and one of the fastest CR500s that they ever made. So why try and hide that? But having said that, he's done some other, you know, I'm not a massive fan of the white frame, but he was going for black and white, so fair enough, white frame. But then, so I think the frame has been powder coated. There is some slight chipping and stuff like that underneath the frame. But then he's just painted, I'm sure this is just paint. Well, it must be because there's paint underneath it. He's just painted the subframe white. If you're going to the trouble of powder coating the frame, why not powder coat the subframe as well? So yeah, that's why it's Marmite, I suppose. It's nothing terrible. Then he's done some other nice stuff, like he's powder coated. He's powder coated the engine, so the barrel's been powder coated in a nice grey colour. The head's been powder coated. The crankcases have been powder coated, so it's obviously been rebuilt. And then the disappointing bit, which it's the Achilles heel of these bikes, the clutch covers on these, they were magnesium. Well, they are magnesium. And if you run proper coolant in them, then that's great. If you run water in them, it corrodes. And so so the water pump area corrodes, and it corrodes into the gearbox. And I haven't opened it up, but looking at it, all of the bolt heads are all furry. You can see around here, it just looks as though it has corroded. Now, the guy who's buying this bike won't know about that at this stage. You can get, so the fix for that really is to replace that cover with a 1989 CR500 cover. Now, the 1989 CR500 cover is aluminium, so it doesn't corrode. But it then has an inspection, a clutch inspection cover, which goes on here. Now, randomly, I have one of these 1989 CR500. It's called an inner clutch cover. I have one of those, so I will offer that to the guy who's buying this bike. Will be extra, obviously. I haven't checked to see how much these things are selling for at the moment, but I'll check, and I'm sure we'll do a deal. The guy, and yeah, so there's good bits on this bike. Pro circuit front pipe looks nice. That's been painted. Looks quite nice being painted. It's got an FMF silencer. The rear hub, I mean, some of this whiteness This is just from it being on the water. The salt water, the salt in the water starts to eat away at some of the metal, particularly the magnesium. You get this whiteness, which starts furring up. Slight dent in this front rim here. The rest of the rim looks okay. Spokes are a little bit rusty. I'd probably suggest the best thing to do would be to get the two wheels rebuilt, probably with a fresh set of rims if you're going to go down that route. That would be the nicest thing to do. I thought I had a tank for this, but the tank that I have for this also has a split in it. So that's probably not going to work. But other than that, the rest of the bike looks really nice. The swing arm looks good. You know, the engine itself looks good. I've done a gearbox check, but I'll just do that for your guys' benefit. So here we go. She's in neutral at the minute. Into first, the plug's not in, which is why it's turning over so easily. So that's first, second, third, fourth, and into fifth. Back down into fourth, third, second, and first. So gearbox is working fine. I've done obviously the engine's turning over, you heard that. I've done a spark check, which is very difficult on these because of the way the pipe is. You can't quite see the spark plug when you're doing the spark check, but it is sparking and the kill switch is working. So the next job is I'm going to see if she'll run, and then that'll be that. So I've just put my motocross boot on. Now then, a couple of reasons for that. But the main one, I've been bitten by these bad boys before. So this particular model has this very, very, very straight kickstart lever. Now, I remember once riding in the desert one of these 1986 CR500s, and this lever here punctured its way into the sole of my boot, and it did it on two separate sets of boots. So I don't kick them with my walking boots anymore. I don't mind the later ones, I'll kick them with my walking boots all day long, but these early ones, because of that lever, that's why I've got my kicking boot on. So they do give you a bit more support in the ankle. Sometimes if these things kick back as well, it can hurt your ankle. But really with this one, I'm doing the motocross boot literally because of that kickstart lever. So there we go. Right, I'll just get her fired up and listen to her purr. Okay, she took a little bit of kicking to get her going first of all, and it's a very warm day. But hopefully she did run sweet, so hopefully she'll go. First kick now. So over top dead centre, and then like I say, main thing is that water pump cover. You've already got the plastics and that to sort the cosmetics out. Just need to find a tank or try and repair this one, and then yeah, you'll have a stunning 1986 CR500, proper cool thing.